Oh yeah, I love it when new packages come in. What are we gonna be doing here? Now, remember this exhaust I was telling you about? I told you I was gonna replace. Well, that is what we're gonna try to attempt to do today. So what we have here is the Banks Monster exhaust. Very popular exhaust. $240 I think I got it for on Amazon or Quadratech, one of the two, but it's the Banks Monster exhaust. A lot of TJs are using this. So we're gonna put that on today. First thing I gotta do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop the transfer case just enough so I can get my hands in there to get that other muffler taken out. So we're gonna loosen up those 3 bolts for the transfer case skid plate, drop it down a few inches so I can get a wrench in there to take that off, and then we'll get to installing this Monster exhaust to finish the loose, crappy exhaust that's rusted out on there now. As you can see, I got it dropped down quite a bit. Able to get my wrench in there and take that off. So that'll be the next thing that we do. Figure out what size that is and try and take that piece right there off so we can cut the back of the exhaust out and pull it out. There she is installed. So this is the Banks Monster exhaust put on the TJ, or LJ rather. I did the hangers down like this because I just don't like these clasps the way they have. It was leaking air. I tried to turn it certain ways to get it from leaking air and having that flutter sound. I got it right there is about the best as I could get it. I don't like them facing down, to be honest with you. It's because of clearance issues, but it's not that bad because you still got your drive shaft that's in the way or whatever. But eventually I'm probably gonna have that welded together. So, but there it is. It's in. Goes up and over. It's into the mount up there for the exhaust hanger. The rubber piece is all in there. Back here, I do have a tip that's going on there. It's a black tip, but with this, this is the hitch. With this hitch here, it hits the tip, so I'm gonna have to take that off. I'm getting a new bumper I'm putting on here anyway. So when I put that new bumper on and take that hitch off, then I'll be able to put the tip on. But you can see it's installed with the new hangers, new exhaust hanger there. It's all put in there, nice. And so we'll start it up and let you hear how it sounds. As you can see, there it is, all nice and installed. So we'll put the tip on once we get the new bumper on and we're good to go. Another thing that I wanted to show here was the angle of approach that I have is quite a bit lower because of this trailer hitch hangs down so low. And if you actually measure it right now, it's measuring with a ground clearance of about 16.5 inches to the bottom of the trailer hitch. So whenever I put the Smittybilt bumper on, I'm hoping that it gives me some more clearance than that. Right now my angle of approach is pretty low because of that extra trailer hitch on the bottom. So the Smittybilt trailer hitch goes up into here, this area, which is a lot better on the clearance. And the tire is going to go up about 4 inches, I'm guessing, which isn't the best, but at least it'll get it up above the bumper so I can open the tailgate. All right, so what you see here is the body bolt and the bumper bolt. Unfortunately, you can't get an impact in there right there because that body bolt's in the way. So the best thing to do is just remove the body bolt. Oh, remove it, not tighten it. There we go. Remove that, and that allows you to get your socket onto that, your impact onto there to remove that bumper bolt. And as you see, there is the trailer hitch and the rear bumper. So this is what it looks like. All right, now with these handy instructions, what it says to do is to mark the bumper for drilling. So if you have a YJ, these 2 holes are already drilled for you right here. So you have the 2 holes that the stock bumper came out of, and you have these 2 holes right here. On a YJ, they're already drilled. On a TJ, LJ, they're not. So you need to drill those. So they provide you with this template. Put over there. Make sure these two holes are lined up from the stock. And then you're going to line up this hole here. And then right about there is where it's going to be. You take a marker and you mark these holes right here. These are the two holes you're going to drill. Right there. Now I want to show you, a lot of people say that be careful because you're going to end up drilling into the tank, and you don't have a lot of room to get your hand up behind here to put the bolts in. Well, on an LJ, things are a little bit different. Let me show you the reason why I'm saying. The LJ has extra room right here, right? On the side, for the side of the bed right here, it's got extra room, which is good because when you're working an LJ, you got plenty of space to get your hands up in here, do these bolts. You ain't got to worry about dropping the tank down for anything. So that's a big difference in the LJ versus the TJ and on installing this bumper. So we're gonna go ahead and drill these holes now. Still want to be careful, and you could do a pilot hole if you'd like, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drill these out the way it is. So now that I've kind of started that hole, I'm going to line up my plate and make sure everything's good to go on that. And it should be, yep, good to go. Holes are lined up right there perfectly. So we're going to move on to the other side. And whenever you put this plate up here, one thing I want to mention is you're going to do it with this notch up, okay? This notch right here in the plate, you're going to do that with a notch up. There's not one on the bottom side here. So that'll tell you exactly which way to do it. Just like that, okay? So when you get over to the other side, just flip the plate over like this and line it up over there and drill your two holes. The right side's a little heavier, so it's a little tilted right now on the jack, but what we're going to do now is we're going to lift that up into place and do the outer two bolts, right? So these bolts right here go in here, and they go in the back through the plate here like this and into the bumper back here, okay, into these bolt holes. What you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to put this metal plate on the back of it right here, and then put the bolt through here into the bumper, okay? So we'll do the outer two on both sides, and they'll come back and do the inner two once we get the bumper loosely on, okay? Okay, so I've got the two outermost bolts started on both sides, okay? I found it easier to do the top left one, top right one, and then come back and do the bottom left and bottom right. That way it was, I could get it held up there level to put the bottom ones in. Because if you have it tilted at all at any little incline, the bottom bolt is not going to go in until you get this side up where it needs to be. So that's what it's going to look like when it's all put on. We still got to put the spare tire carrier on there, but you can see there it's a pretty nice little bumper. It really is. It's got the tow rated hitch on here. You can see class 3. Okay, to get those back bolts started, and then we're going to do that bottom bolt right there next with this larger bolt that they provide you with. So, and that'll help support it. So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8 total bolts on the front and 2 bolts on the bottom. Should have no problem hauling a small load on the Jeep. Be sure whenever you do this, you do not forget to put your body mount bolt back in, because that would be a tragedy. So make sure you put that in there on both sides, and then we'll get to putting on the tire carrier. Okay, remember when we first started with the other trailer hitch on here, we had 16.5 inches of ground clearance, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure now to see what my ground clearance is and if I've gained anything at all. And there it sits, 20 3/4. So 20 inches and 3/4. So just over 4 inches of ground clearance that I've gained in the back end just with adding this bumper, okay? Which is going to increase my departure angle right here, okay? I said approach angle before, I think, but departure angle, right? So from here at an angle down to the tires, that's my departure angle, okay? So I am increasing my departure angle there now that I've got 20 3/4 inches to the bottom of this bumper. off of there. Now we got it all cleaned up. Got some grease on that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this nylon washer that they provide you. You're gonna place this down on top of the post. Take your tire carrier swing. You may or may not have to open this up a little bit. Just take a pry bar, open it up a little bit and get it some room so you can slip this down over top of the post, like that. There we go. Down on top of the post, right there.
I don't necessarily have the proper tool for this. They make a tool that allows you to use the separator on the ring. So I'm using some needle nose pliers to see if I can't get this to work.
There we go. And it's on there. Just like so. Now, I do not like where that's at. So I'm gonna see if I can't turn it. Who knows if this is gonna work? Looks like it will. Okay, now we got that installed, we're gonna use this here to put through the tire swing. Okay, so you're gonna use a flat washer on each one of these. You're gonna put them through bolt locations. And a flat washer, backs, and then the 10mm nuts. Like that. And then you're going to tighten it all up. Make sure that it's nice and tight. And then make sure that this swings out okay. See, it swings there and it's fine. It's not going to cause an issue. So, okay, so now we're up here with the upper mounting bracket for the tire. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. This is how it's going to sit on there. Okay, now we need to adjust it to where our tire is going to fit in there, okay? And you can adjust it in or out. So I'm going to start out here to start with, put the tire on, and then see if I can go to this next hole, okay? So we're going to put, now the longer one goes on top, so we're going to wait on that one. We're going to go with the shorter ones on the bottom, on each side. So one there, a flat washer on the bottom and a lock nut. Lock nut. We're gonna put this one here, put the other one on the other side. It's just snug. All right, so there it is installed with the vertical piece. Everything's torqued down. It's nice and tight. I put some anti-seize on the lug nuts here, or lug bolts. So what I'm gonna do now is lift the tire up and get it installed. Okay, that's on there. Now, Smittybilt does give you 3 lug nuts to put on here in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on here. So there it is. As you can see, that top vertical piece is not high enough to put a third brake light on it per se. There's a little gap there. You can see the gap between the two. Hopefully when I torque them down, it'll be better, but there's some down there too. I could not move that inner piece back anymore to get it to work. To get this, if I was to move this back, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't, my depth of my wheels, it's not gonna work for me. So I had to put it there like you see there. So what I need to do is I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about a third brake light. I don't know what you guys have done. Like I said before, comment down below and tell me what you've done for your third brake light, but I can't put one on top of the tire there because it's just, it doesn't have enough space on the top. This tire sits pretty high. Sits pretty high off of the bumper. I wish it sat lower. There's no way to adjust it, no adjustability there, but it is what it is. So the other thing that you have, the Smittybilt gives you, is this little D-ring clip thing right here. And it goes in here to ensure that the tire carrier stays shut like that. And clips back there, right here like this. And then this you can attach to your license plate. All right, last but not least, remember the issue we had with the exhaust pipe and the trailer hitch? Well, that problem is not there anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on right there. And there is the final completion of the Banks Monster exhaust.